Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday. We're halfway there, girls and boys. But you're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, first of all. And then to think, okay, we have got so much going on. And yesterday I announced that Kaci O and her husband Michael were going to be here, and there was a mix-up on the dates, so it's okay. Everybody calm down, because they're here today. Yes, and so we're excited to have them here and to spice up this Wednesday. That's what we want to talk about. And spicing up is properly done by her husband Michael, because he is a chef, and that he does understand that part of it. We're going to have a little side of politics, though, because he likes to talk politics. And boy, did he pick the right show to be on. And so we're going to talk about that. But and Kaci has a very interesting side to her. You know, we only got to the teeny bit first layer of Kaci, because Kaci has so many things going for her. And she was here just to kind of promote the fact that she was going to be doing the 5-minute face with Conroe Coffee, and we're going to talk about that. And then something happened that changed a lot of her thinking and perspective just during this show. Can you imagine that happening on this show? But it was because of one of our guests, and she's going to talk about that later. And we will get to Kaci and Michael in the second segment, unless Michael can't restrain himself and he has to jump in and say anything. And Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, and you are totally welcome. If I say something, you go like, "Where did you get that?" Go right ahead. It's okay.
I appreciate it.
I have got to talk about something that's so funny to me, that a lot of the reporters and a lot of media. I think you're there. He's up. Michael's putting his mic on. Yeah, headphones on.
Had the sunglasses on my head. It wasn't fitting.
Awesome.
I'm all right now.
Awesome sound. Okay, I just wanted you to know that wasn't me adjusting a bra strap or something. It was Michael trying to get his headset around right. Okay. Anyway, this reporter was trying to go out, and there's been a couple of reporters that have gone out, TV stations, to try and buy an AR-15 and to show just how easy it is to get an AR-15. And boy, they were on a mission. And one reporter, it became an oops, probably shouldn't have done that. He went in, signed the papers and all that, and takes so many hours before they, can tell you whether you can buy the gun or not. And they were doing all this. See how easy it was? I walked right in there and I signed the papers, and they're all for me, and they're all ready to do, to sell me this gun, and it goes on and on and on about how easy it is to get the gun. Well, the report comes back. He was refused. What? He was refused, yeah. He could not buy the gun. And it was, as further investigation, what came up was he had problems with alcoholism and spousal abuse. And so there he was with egg on his face, and he was going to try and just say, hey, the background check actually worked, but he didn't want to talk about what the problems were. And his station said, no, you got to say what they found and what caused the refusal. So please. And it was, he was refused, and it worked. And, nobody's going to be going, nah, but I am. Okay. So they were trying to set the record straight, because that's the deal is that we don't know how many hundreds of times that may happen in a day. That's not talked about, how many people are refused, the ability to buy the gun. But anyway, that happened, and I thought that was really fun and interesting. And then we've got the story that happened yesterday was that Hillary Clinton came out and to give her policy on the economy. But here's what's happening when she comes out and does these policy speeches. It becomes, let me see how many things that would happen wrong in this country if Donald Trump was the president, and then if I were president. But she talks more about Donald Trump than she does even her own policies. And things that she says, she leaves herself wide open. And, on this show, how many times I've told everybody, please, if you know Hillary, close to Hillary, tell her to give me a call. And we will and talk about some of the things that you say, Hillary, that leave you, wide open for people to come in and attack you. That there is the glass house deal, and there's a lot of things going on that you probably should take into consideration before you open your mouth to say those things. So I am just saying, if she wants some really, not the yes men that are probably around her saying, "Oh, Hillary, that's the pantsuit to wear. That's absolutely fabulous. You look, 10 years younger. Go ahead, wear that one." And don't tell her, don't talk about these, don't talk about the things that you have problems of your own. And that's what I'm saying. There's enough luggage for her to have, a lot of handlers behind her carrying that luggage. But she opens herself up for people to unpack that luggage, and you don't want that. You don't want that in a race like this. Donald Trump, you can see he doesn't know any better. He will tell everybody everything. He'll tell them all the stuff that he's done, and probably people say, "Shut up! Don't talk so much. You're telling too much, or you're not presenting it well," and all that. And they get upset with him. And now he's been, I think, restrained to do the where he has to read it off the prompter. So it's going to be interesting to see, because we're just getting into this, and he's getting ready and probably doing it right now. He's said a major speech, and he's going to be dwelling on the policies that Hillary is putting up and that her and Obama have structured that has hurt this economy, and has hurt our policies, foreign policies, and all that. So that's what he's going to be talking about. So we'll see. And it's getting to be like a tweeting war. It's hilarious, the tweeting that's being done. And everybody's trying to figure out, now, did staff tweet that out, or did they do it themselves? They want to find out this. So anyway, that is the things that I think are pretty fun and pretty funny. And I told you yesterday that LeBron James, see, we jump all over the place. LeBron James had this crying, fit after the game, and just broke down. I'd never seen a big man cry like he did, and he's also now been inserted into the politics of things, because they have this huge, and when I say huge, it's outside of what Donald Trump says. It's huge banner up that has LeBron James with his arms outstretched, and it's like, victory, and it has champions above it. And they put this up a while back when he came back, and now they've added champions on top of it. Well, in July, the Republicans come to town, and they're going to have to take that down because they own that space at that point. How unfortunate for the Republicans. If there weren't going to be a riot before, there may be now. Don't you think, Michael?
I think it's going to be like 68 Chicago. I think it's definitely going to be a wild.
Oh, it's going to be a wild ride anyway. And then for you to do something to their hero, that they're going to take him down.
That town's got a lot of problem with the police department anyway.
Yeah.
And the internal corruption, and so we'll see how it all goes. But
well,
it's going to be hot. It's already above record temperatures.
Yeah, and that's
people are going to be on edge.
You'd hope that'd make people stay inside of the air conditioner, but that's not going to be the case. They're going to be out there sweating and being upset and just on edge, because I know I'm that way, and I have nothing to really argue or fight about. It's just I go outside for a while, and the kids say anything crossways, I go like, "What did you say?" And you just get upset.
Yeah.
So
dog days.
But I think that it's interesting that they're going to have to take that down. And if the Republicans were smart, they would go, "We do not want to take LeBron James down. We know how much he means this, and we'll find another place to do this."
To bring the first sports championship there in
right.
50 years
60.
Or
that was
long it was.
64.
Long time.
Yes, I think that was right. Anyway, so they've got an opportunity to do some PR, and we'll see if they take advantage of it.
Hopefully so.
Yeah, but anyway, so Michael, just give me a hint of what you'd like to talk about. Now, we are going to talk food, though, right? We can't talk food.
Yes,
of
course.
And I think that I was promised a sandwich. Is that?
Oh my gosh!
Did you forget the sandwich?
It's so early.
It's okay.
We made food for the kids this morning.
Yeah, y'all were trying to get cereal for the kids, and so
it wasn't. We're out of cereal, and we had to make breakfast before we left. It wasn't no big deal, but just a little bit behind.
But to think about making, I'm glad that you fed them instead of think about a sandwich for me. It's okay. I can survive on what I have right now. No,
we
I
don't live at 5 minutes of sandwiches.
Well,
with reason.
Well, we want
Still.
to find out what sandwich you were going to make for me, because I want to find out if it's something, like, without even asking what I like on a sandwich, did you just have a feeling I could make you a sandwich that you would love, Cindy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can make you a sandwich you'd love.
Okay. Now, where do you work?
I work for myself, but I've worked for some corporate caterers, and I made a lot of sandwiches in my life. It's for certain.
But you do a lot of catering.
Correct.
Okay.
Mostly weddings, and mostly weddings. That's all I really do.
I'm
trying
so
to think
glad.
of 2 or 3 things that I've done outside of that.
Well, I'm so glad I've got somebody that's done weddings and stuff. I just want to talk to you about doing event catering and working with people, and everybody has a different taste about things.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, guys, you are listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. We're going to be back with a lot, and we've got Kaci O sitting right here ready to go about the 5-minute face. So you guys just hang on. We'll be right back and got so much more to say, so don't go away.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
Lone Star Community Radio is FM. That's right. Set your radio dials and your button presets to Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1, coming in June of 2016. To celebrate this edition and the addition of video versions of our talk and music shows on YouTube, cable TV, and Our City TV, we are offering special sponsorships rates, which include free audio spots that are played throughout our broadcast. Interested? Check out our sponsor rates for shows just like the one you're listening to online at irlonestar.com/sponsor, or call the station at 936-647-5747. Reaching the people of Montgomery County with Montgomery County's community radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Back on the Cindy Cochran Show, and we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Listen, guys, we have with us today, Michael. Say your last name.
Sotoviets.
What? Say it one more time.
Sotoviets is
Okay.
how it's pronounced. Surwick's fine. Say it like the Texan. That's cool. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Not a pull-off.
Well, see, when Casey told me her last name, because you are from,
My last name is Polish. I'm from Beaumont.
Polish. Okay. And so when Casey told me her last name, I went, can I call you Kaci O? Because I couldn't. But if I sit there and stare at it and do it phonetically, I can do it.
Easy.
I can do it. It is easy.
It's phonetic.
It's whenever you say it all together. Good
Mine's-
morning, Casey.
Good
I'm so glad you're
morning.
here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, I love you guys, and I want and next time I know he's going to bring me just a lay. Here's the sandwiches we have for Jewish weddings. Here's the sandwiches we have for the Polish weddings, and there's so for the Texan weddings. That's what I mean. You're a chef. You've been doing this for a long time, and you're on your own now, and you're catering, and you do a lot of weddings.
Correct.
And so when you do these weddings, is your number one problem dealing with the bride and the mom?
No, it's trying to make the menu to where you only have an allotted amount of time at a wedding. Everything's under a time crunch,
right?
And trying to make something that's easy, that everybody will like, that flows through the line. You don't want to give people too many choices, because people think it's like Luby's, and it doesn't flow well.
Right.
It clogs up, and you
not a
spend
buffet.
2 hours
Yes.
serving food while you could be doing all kinds of other
Sure.
fun things.
Sure. No, that's a very good point. Not too many choices.
Right.
It's like, but you go to a lot of events, corporate events or whatever, and they always make fun of you just have these set vegetables and this kind of type of vegetables and the chicken and there's nothing really, like you're expecting something real elaborate, but they found, I guess, through years and years of doing this, that this is the best way to do it. You give them steak or fish, or you give them, the the medley of, I always love that, the medley of vegetables, and then mashed potatoes and whatever. But the easiest that you find, and when you do this, is it culturally difficult when you have someone come in and say, but we're all going to be Texans there, and we want Texas food?
I had a menu last week that required vegan gumbo, and that was strange. And these people were English, but they wanted, and they were also vegetarian, or at least half the party was, and they wanted something Cajun, but they wanted it vegan, so they had vegan gumbo, and it turned out pretty good, actually. It had, the mirepoix was more present than it would be with regular gumbo.
Did they give you a recipe?
No,
they just let you say, here, this is what we wanted, and you...
my partner and I made it, and they liked it all. I mean, everything was good, but they also had pulled pork. I mean, it was a real strange. People request different things, and you'd be surprised. But it actually all worked. Everybody was happy, and there was very little food left over.
Do you have to do tests with, they do cake testing, but they do come in and you serve them some things that you make, and then
Correct.
they tell you what they want. Okay,
Exactly.
That's fun. Nobody's ever invited me to that party. I think that's a great thing.
Well, we
It's
could do that. Instead
should-
of just one sandwich, we could bring you a little bit of...
like a taste. Okay, all right. That's what I want at my wedding. That'll be great. I think that if you have to deal with so many different people doing that, and do you have times where you get really upset or angry or say, like, I don't think this is going to work out between us. I want to get a divorce now. We can't work together on this wedding.
There are some, and you just have to be upfront with people and tell them, I'm not comfortable with this. There are people that specialize in these things. I mean, I would like to cook kosher food, but in order to cook kosher food, you have to have two sets of everything. So if something touches a piece of pork, you can never touch any of the kosher food.
So I guess you learn a lot about cultures as different people that come in, and besides personalities.
Where we are.
But that's what I would have difficulty. I'm like, somebody comes in and go, oh, it's so exciting, you're getting married and all that, and they go, yes, can we get to the food part? Okay, and they have no personality. There's none there. There's nothing to work with.
I've had a couple like that. My partner would know who I'm talking about if he's listening. But they were very blasé. I try not to make my food bland, so I expect a little bit of reaction from it. Like,
Right. And when they go like, it's edible. Okay, all right.
That was one out of however many people that was.
I'm going to jump in here. I have never, ever really heard anybody say anything.
It wasn't
even remotely
it was just meh.
off color.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I have seen people just fall into pieces. I think he always gives, he doesn't give himself enough credit for the amazing things that he does with food, and so it's. I'm sitting here listening, going, "No, you're incredible! You're incredible!"
Well, I'm telling
but
the
he's
truth.
so
That it was
humble, and he's so simple.
This
that
were
it's
when
just,
people, and it wasn't that they didn't like it. Was just like meh. They weren't, and they were like that with each other too. It wasn't just me.
It was the
food. Yeah, it was
You
them.
Are we talking the Brits here?
No. They were very.
I thought she was getting ready to say the name.
Greatest
I thought she was getting ready to say, "Are you talking about Joe for it?" Like, anyway, no, don't say the name. But see, I think that we all, I don't care. People say that they don't like somebody that gets too emotional and all that. But I think we all we gravitate towards somebody that really does show how they feel about something. I like that. And a lot of people can't show how they feel, so they really do gravitate toward that. And if they feel like you're open and that you're fun and that you can laugh at things, it's just, I don't know why everybody can't feel that way. Now, my husband is the total opposite of me. Total opposite. He's not emotional. He's very mature. Did you say mature?
Introverted.
Oh, there's mature. Yeah. He just, he's not going to show that emotion. He thinks showing emotion is weakness, and he just, he's not going to do that. And I told him, I said, I don't understand why you can't get really happy or really excited about something when I say something. He goes, look, it would be pretty difficult if both of us had the same personality. Let's do a little thing. I'm going to go back outside and come home from work, and I'm going to come home from work like you do, and I'm going to be you, and this is what you want me to be, you. Okay, here, this is what it looked like. He came in and he did this, it was ridiculous. Hey, what are you no, it's so good to see you. Oh, well, let me tell you what happened today. And I said, okay, you're right. Go back the way you were. Yes, I don't want any competition. I want that to be just the way we were. Okay. So, I think that it's interesting for people to go like, well, if I don't like you, I don't think I want you to do my wedding. Like they're so personal about it. I've got to be able to like you and like your personality.
You want to work with people that you like for sure. It makes life a lot more.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Sure. I think that
it's a tough industry. You want to definitely, for all you brides that are listening out there, you want to be comfortable with the people that you pick as your vendors. You want to have a decent relationship with these people.
Right, and trust them and all that stuff. So that's why word of mouth is so important, right?
Correct.
And whenever we probably don't go into a lot of restaurants until we've heard someone that we know like it. And they go like, oh, yeah, it's so great. It's so wonderful. And that becomes...
I've got a few right around here that I'm so glad that I started coming down here. There's a lot of good little restaurants and coffee shops down here. I really do like this little area.
Well, that's when...
Good little nook.
I'll tell people that are going to be on the show, go to Conroe Coffee, and they go over there and they go like, wow, that place is so cool. It's very cool. And they like, they like the coffee most of the time. And it's just,
it's delicious.
We talk about, well, you're going to have to go get a second job. No, that's not. It's not actually a second job to afford it. But it's if you do this every day, if you drink that kind of coffee every day, it's so delicious. Everybody says so. It's fun. Now, here's the thing that I think is interesting about you, Michael. Not only do you cook, but you like politics, right?
Well,
you don't like them, but you're.
I feel we live in the age of information. It's best to be informed. You don't want to be ignorant now when everything you can find and you can cross-reference and you can reference and find, a semblance of the truth.
Right.
If you want.
But do you find it harder to find friends to talk about politics with?
Exactly, especially, during election years. Everybody's become so polarized,
Right, it's sensitive.
The Republican Party's in tethers. I mean, it's being torn apart, the fabric of what it is. It's kind of being...
But they're doing it to themselves. I mean, this is what is, I'm totally a Republican and conservative and all that stuff, and make no bones about that. But I can certainly listen and hear and see and observe that what they're doing is just shooting themselves in every foot they have. So why do you want to be this way? And where you're not listening to the people, and what they say was so bad in their actions is that people are stupid.
Yeah, they think they know better than the people,
than everybody else,
than the constituents.
Right. Now, what do you consider yourself?
Libertarian. I won't even. I've got a voter's registration card, but I won't vote. I don't feel I'm going to do any good. I think that Hillary, this was engineered probably 16 to 20 years ago.
Right.
And her and Trump are too close allied. I mean, I don't go to parties and hug my enemies and hang out with them and booster them and send them money into their super PACs. I don't consider...
And then turn on them, you mean?
Yeah, and then become their rival. I think it's Senator Claire McCaskill of Missouri. You can look this up. She was a Democrat, and this was during the 2012 Senate elections in Missouri. Talks about she was sitting in a hotel room either in Kansas City or St. Louis, and she took a drink. But from there, she had just financed her rival's campaign because she wanted him to win the Republican nomination because she knew he was too crazy to get the moderate vote. So she would end up winning. And I kind of think this is the same thing that they're doing. I mean, it might be all for show in my book. I don't know. I could be wrong.
You're right. They're all kind of conspiracies, and I could understand the conspiracy of thinking, all right, now if Donald Trump wins, then it'll be so easy for Hillary to come in there and take all. I don't think they were counting on Bernie Sanders.
No, he's the wild card.
Yeah,
and he won't go to convention. And that's what I was saying. He was an independent before he ran for Democratic presidential race. He's the wild card.
And the fact that he admitted that he was a socialist was a big deal, that he was able to garner what he was able to garner. But these were a lot of young kids and all that. I love that. To me, that's just what a phenomenon.
It is.
That those
it's
kids.
Good, but those kids need to be, You know, they're saying that free from the state does not mean free, as in
that's right.
It's not what it means. You're on the hook for paying for those things. Other things are going to be left to the wayside.
Well, they feel like, okay, he's going to pay for my student loan, yes. And in fact, we're going to be going to college for free, yes. So after they get out of college and they get a job and they start seeing what's taken out of their pay, and they're paying for all that free stuff that they thought they were getting, and oh my word, they grow up real fast. And so I believe people can change their mind and evolve. To me, it's not inconceivable that Donald Trump, who was, supported the Democrats.
He's very liberal. I mean,
he supported the Democrats and all that, but he evolved, like Obama said.
He's a whole nother animal.
To a Republican because they were more let's don't tax the businesses so much, and let's let it more free.
Fair capitalism.
Right, exactly.
Open markets.
And so I think it's interesting. I also don't believe that there's any reason for anybody to get so upset that they don't like each other or they won't do business with you or things like that I've seen happen, that this is politics. And you're right, a lot of stuff that we had no idea was being taken out of our hands is very interesting to a lot of people that I think Trump has kind of revealed, is that when they say, hey, it's not the people that elect him, it is the leaders. We the leaders. So it's Congress. I mean, they've just been, in the last 8 years, it's been just gridlock. Everything is it's been a hard process to get either side to do anything right. It's just been a whole gigantic fight. It's supposed to be checks and balances, but that's not how it comes out, does it? When you have
it's just been a
full Congress, one side.
Of nothing.
So would you vote though then, if you go like, okay, to stop this gridlock, then we have to have all Republican or all Democrat. But they had all Democrat for 2 years. They were all Democrat, and they didn't get the stuff done that you would think would have been easy.
Jaded. I mean, it's been a long time. In 2000, when the election came down to Florida, and the
hanging chads.
Yeah, and it was just. I started, thinking about it real deeply. Then I was like, man, this is some icky business that they got going on here, and since then it's been to my belief, it's been easier to predict who's going to become the next president, and I think Hillary Clinton's going to be it. And Vegas would agree with me. Odds makers would agree. I mean, and I think it's engineered. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, people are paid six-figure incomes for gerrymandering, which means you get certain districts to vote a certain way, and you carry the state, and you get the what is it? Not the delegates, but the
electoral college.
Yeah, the electorates.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's very weird the way they have the system set up, but
Okay, I'm over 16 years old, and I didn't find out about the electoral college. I think this was a few years ago. I was like, what? And that just blows you away. You're like, good grief, are we really going and standing in line for that long for a reason? Hey, you're listening to Cindy Cochran Show. When we come back, we have to take the focus off of Michael. We got to get over here and talk to Kaci O. So don't go away. She's going to talk to you how you can have a 5-minute face, and also what she's doing for the blind and makeup. We'll be right back.
The Cindy Cochran Show. Real reality radio.
Lone Star Community Radio is on FM. That's right. Set your radio dials and your button presets to Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1 coming in June 2016. To celebrate this edition and the addition of video versions of our talk show and music shows on YouTube and cable TV, we are offering special sponsorship rates, which include free audio spots that are played throughout our broadcasts. Interested? Check out our sponsor rates for shows just like this one you're listening to right now online at irlonestar.com/sponsor. Or call the station at 936-647-5747. Reaching the people of Montgomery County with Montgomery County's community radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
The Cindy Cochran Show. The first daily talk show serving Montgomery County.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show. Boy, we have a busy little Dennis today. He's been Facebooking me, and he was talking about how I think he was kind of like on your when you were talking about foods and all the different things that have to be just right for people, and then you've got to take in consideration people with allergies, and that you can't have anything that has peanut oil in it, anything touching and all that stuff. Do you go through that?
The best salad I make has walnuts in it, and the bride knows in advance if people within her party have a nut allergen generally, and warns them away from it. But yeah, I use pesto and a lot of things. Pesto has nuts, and a lot of Asian cuisines have nuts. So I mean, yeah, you can steer away from it if people have allergies. But there's a lot of nuts in people that don't realize. And pesto, for instance.
Well, that's
it's little green stuff in a jar, but
that's
like
true.
Oil and nuts.
And there's levels of sensitivity, I'm sure, to it. Sure. And so people say that I can't have anything that even was cooked in the same room,
right,
or that kind of thing that you have to listen to.
Food allergens are a big deal. I mean, they kill a large amount of people a year. I would say over 1,000 easily. So you have to pay attention to those type of things.
Of course. And he agrees totally with all your politics. I want to let you know. It is all rigged and engineered. Also, he said, I better let you talk. So if you feel like I haven't let you say what you want to say.
I feel like I've said what I need to say. I mean, I don't. It's to the point now. I'm real jaded by it. It is what it is. But how much worse is it going to get before we actually start standing up and say, hey,
right,
we see what's going on. Everybody sees it. It's not just a few of us, but
exactly
we're all starting to see it.
Yeah.
So at that point, but, the government's very smart. The government's got us surveilled to everything that we do.
Well,
everything.
I think, I'll tell you something, and it being this old, I used to think the government, it's like your doctor. You want to think they're doing everything for your best benefit. They don't have any ulterior motives or anything like that. But then when you get older and you go like, wow, that's not true. And that, so I don't think the government's smart, or we get older, we start getting smarter about like our, finding out, wait a minute. And we're the information technology now, everything is so, revealed quickly. Mm-hmm. And so I think
everything's at our fingertips.
Right, right. It's like going in to buy a car now, and you know everything about that car more than the person who's trying to sell it to you. And so where can they go? Which way can they go? They can't lie to you more or try and bully you into something because you have too much knowledge.
Yep.
And so I think that's what you've said.
Information, leads to knowledge. Knowledge leads to wisdom. So
that's what we got. That's what we got to do. So we thank you, Dennis. I hope that was everything that you need to hear, because we got to get on to his wife, and he wants us to. He wants us to talk about his wife. You both have a studio. I love the studio, Southern Envy Studio.
Yes, ma'am.
And out of that studio, a lot of different things come. Michael's catering. Mm-hmm. And then your work with this makeup, this 5-minute face, I love it. But before we talk about the 5-minute face, let's give them something behind the face and say, give me just that, that short list of all the things that you have been into and that you are knowledge of. Tell me this. This is amazing.
Cindy, I try to blame it on the fact that I get bored really easy. Mm-hmm. And as somebody who is entrepreneurial at heart, you're constantly looking for something that is going to add on to a service or help people get better or expand growth, expand your financial possibilities, and also expand your network. It has evolved so much in the last 10 years, something that was started as art that really turned into something that became more humanitarian, helping people, loving people, helping people tap in to other people like them or resources to help them become better people. It became something that is so much more inspiring than what it started out to be. I actually started my education in aerospace. I was a pilot, I got into an interest of working with National Transportation Safety Board. I interned out at NASA, did lots of fun things with ballistics, and it was so fantastic. So I was joking with my husband the other day that what I enjoy doing at home at night in bed is reading accident reports from the National Transportation Safety Board when airplanes crash.
That's what you read at night.
Yeah.
Okay, good thing to have in your head as you go to sleep. Yikes!
But also, what I got the opportunity to really research and understand is that there is a parallel to so many things, whether it is science, whether it is spirituality, whether it's religion, whether it's makeup. There is something that is always intertwined and can be utilized in all the different aspects. So I've there really has been no method to it. It really just has been madness. But as I've grown into my 30s and really kind of settled into who I am as an adult, I'm really seeing that all of those little things have prepared me for the greatness that we have coming for the business and that we have for people, that's really going to inspire our community to not just be feel beautiful or feel smart or understand where you come from, the politics per se
right.
of all of it, but really just understanding that there is a balance to everything that you do. And so if you are fully aware of the things that you overindulge in or the things that you need to know more about, and you try to balance those out, I am still learning. My husband has been a huge part of teaching me balance, that it really makes things go smoother and faster and more fruitful in all aspects of life.
And you're right, because Michael has to really concentrate on balance in the meals, as he has to balance. Everything has to have a balance. And you're right, we all do need that. We need balance in our life, and not so all on this side or on that side, but try to see the whole picture, and then through other people's eyes.
Mindful.
Yeah, I'll tell my husband. I said, you have to see this through the grandchild's eyes.
That's right.
Don't see it just through yours, and that he's not acting the way you acted when you were back in the day, and that you don't get it, you don't understand it. You have to see what he's dealt with and what information he's had thrown at him, and he's living in a different world than you were living in back then.
Yep, that's right.
And you can't blame them. But now, we had a guest on the last time you were here. Tell them how that guest, Carly Kremen, changed the way you looked at some things.
It was more so my husband than it was myself. He had made, I guess, to paint the picture as him being very inspirational, and I put things into motion.
He
said to me,
I like that.
Not inspirational. I'm just observant.
Well, okay. So he said to me, what if we tried to create a makeup session or some kind of tutorial for the blind? And I sat back for a second and I was like, let me think about it. So I went home and I really started to research that there is a language, physical language difference between people who are blind and obviously people who are not. But so I really started to research some face mapping and how to communicate color and just application for people who can't see their faces, and counting with fingers and knuckles, and just identifying where to start, where to stop based on bone structure. But then the kind of emotional side of me kicked in and said, is this something that's necessary for them? This would be something that is really for other people's aesthetic pleasure. They don't know makeup.
Right.
They don't know even the final product. Now, it would be something like the placebo effect, which my husband loves to talk to me about, is that the fact that they have gone through the motions just somehow makes them feel a little bit more confident about themselves.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, is this something that is going to add an inconvenient time stretch to their daily grind, or
an insecurity they may have not known that they should have had.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that something that
Pandora's box?
Yes, it could open a can of worms that maybe they don't emotionally, it would be more of a frustration than it would be anything else. So I really just think that I'd open up to people who want it, but I would never really pressure. And I think in my tutorials with them, I would say, this is absolutely not something that I ever want you to stress about.
Right.
Don't create an issue or an emotional kind of negative feeling about it.
Well, I think the option is what's so great, is because like a lot of people don't want to wear makeup, and their husband will say, don't wear makeup. I don't like you with makeup. I like you just the way you are. Okay, so, and that's really sometimes you feel like, is that right?
I like less is more. I mean, telling her that it's, she's an artist, but her 5-minute face it's good. I don't think it's too much makeup whatsoever. Everything blends well.
She's a master at that, and
right.
we're going to talk about that when we come back from the break. But I think that your idea and looking deeper and past just the obvious that we don't want to project onto somebody. I'm sure you want to know how to put your makeup on, and even though you're blind, it's more difficult. So let me show you a way. Maybe that's not the best way, but I love that you thought past that. Okay, guys, we're going to be right back after this, and we're going to talk about the 5-minute face. A 5-minute face. Yeah, sometimes I look like I have to. Okay, but no, this is different. Wait till you come back. Don't go away. You're listening to the Cindy Cochran Show. We'll be right back.
The Cindy Cochran Show. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Did you know your favorite show on Lone Star Community Radio are on social media? Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, you name it, they're on it. Check out where they are online on irlonestar.com/shows and see which of your favorite hosts are online. Make sure to follow them and see what is in store for the next broadcast. Follow Lone Star Community Radio on Twitter at IR Lone Star or Facebook with facebook.com/IR Lone Star.
The Cindy Cochran Show, the most opinionated talk show on radio.
And we're back on the Cindy Cochran Show, having a fascinating and wide range of topics between the guest I have, Michael, and I've got to tell you, can I say your name? Kaci? No,
Okabayashi.
Okabayashi. I knew that. And Michael, her husband, Michael
Sotovitz is how you say my last name.
Sotovitz. I almost made that. I made that Italian sounding. Sotovitz. Okay. And
works for me.
A chef, politics, societal politics, and we're talking to Kaci and her work with trying to discover, is there a way that she could help empower the blind women about makeup, because she empowers seeing women. And sometimes the way I put my makeup on, I'm sure people wonder, did you have a mirror when you did that, or was that just just trying to do it? So anyway, but she started a thing. We want to promote this real quick. We don't have much time. Is the 5-minute face, and you're doing this at Conroe Coffee, and tell us about that.
Actually, Cindy, I am so excited to tell you that almost all of them are sold out completely.
Wow.
Yeah, it went very quickly. The one that we do have left is on July the 13th. That's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. It is the All About Eyes. It is the only one that we have left. There's about 8 spots left. But basically what I do is I cover in every single one of these events once a week. We cover just the eyes, we cover contouring, we cover skincare, age prevention, and preventative maintenance. And then what I do is I help each individual woman or client, and I ask them, what is it that you want to correct? Mm-hmm. What are the things that you focus on the most when you are doing your morning face? And then I help them identify their face mapping, and then the correct way to accentuate at max, just optimizing, and then again optimizing with their time. Are you going to focus on your eyebrows? Are you going to focus on your contouring? Do you really not wear makeup? Do you want to find the colors that work best for you for everyday wear? Do you want to know how to go from work to the bar. You know, there's tons of ways, but every one of them is just 5 minutes.
You know, that amazes me that you went through that litany of things that people ask you and things that you think. I'm really wondering when I get and I sit down if there's enough of that eyeliner left in that thing, and I crank it out just one more time. Just come on, just one more. Just give me one more, and that's all. And so I never thought that far about it. That's good to know that women do that. I need to think more about it, but I really do think that if they bring their makeup right to your
yes, ma'am.
lesson,
bring your makeup bag,
and then out of that you're going to show them what they could be doing better, enhancing and all that. But you also have another item that you show them that all in one compact.
So what happens is the ticket is not for profit. It goes directly towards the products that we're learning on. Absolutely bring your makeup bag, and I can show you how to utilize everything that's in it. But when you open up your swag bag, we have a large item in there and a couple other small things that I tell you really how to use your to optimize the use of your products.
There you go. See, that's what I'm saying, is that you're going to find out so much more and how to enhance your beauty and all that. But you have so much beauty inside that's where I'm hoping that, you know, I'm trying to draw on that instead of the outside. So I think that it's great that you help people do this and you empower women. And that's July. What is the last?
July 13th. It's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Conroe Coffee.
And how do they get the...
So you can go to the website. It's fauxpesci.com, FAUXPESCI.com. Also, you can always go to the fan page and like it's Southern Envy Studios, The Woodlands. We're always updating information there. That's really where you can tap into us, like
everything that you're doing
at the moment.
And Michael and everything.
No, I've got my catering company is separate from hers, and it's gbhtx.com. GBHTH.
GBHTX. GBHTX.
So the company is The Good, the Bad, and the Hungry.
I love that. That is great. That's great. But
there's no sandwiches on that.
All you have to do, you might give me my. I am so hungry. In fact, my stomach growled a while ago, and it scared me because that never happens. I haven't heard that sound. I didn't know what was going on. I never let myself get hungry. So anyway, you guys, we had a great time with you. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Flacos. It's a vegan truck that goes out and it's become very popular. Courtney Weeder.
Heard about it.
You've heard about it? Yay. Well, we're going to
deal.
see how that's going. So we'll be with you tomorrow. And then Don Wilson Friday, talk about Elvis and all his personal experiences that he can talk to us about. Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Thanks for checking out this production on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's radio station. For more information on this show and other shows on Lone Star, check us out online at irlonestar.com. If you're interested in sponsoring a program on Lone Star Community Radio and reaching the local audience of Montgomery County on FM, Internet, and TV media, please call 936-647-5747 or contact us online at irlonestar.com. This recording is a Lone Star Community Radio production, produced by the show host and Dick Schissler of Lone Star Community Radio. Interested in volunteering as a music DJ or starting your own talk show? Contact Dick Schissler at dick@irlonestar.com or by phone at 936-647-5747.